Well, it's definitely a change in Israeli policy compared to many years in which Israel did not recognize Moroccan sovereignty over the Sahara. Uh, it has to be, it should be seen in the context of not so much the Sahara issue itself, which is not an issue which is of great interest to Israel, but it's more in the bilateral context of relations between Israel and Morocco, and also the broader context of Israel in the region, because you may be aware that in the recent months, after the Netanyahu government took over in Israel in December, uh, relations between Israel and Arab states that signed the Abraham Accords, UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco, have been eroding. And there's tensions and there's criticism of Israeli policies vis-a-vis the Palestinians. So much so that Morocco, that was supposed to host a ministerial summit of the forum, the Negev Forum, forum of 6 countries that are focused on Arab-Israeli normalization, postponed the visit indefinitely due to Israeli policies. And so, due to these developments, Israel was looking for a way to ease tensions mostly with Morocco, and trying to advance normalization in a more productive way. And so I think this step today of Mr. Netanyahu's letter to the Moroccans, stating that Israel is now about to recognize Moroccan sovereignty, is a step in order to improve or upgrade or rescue the Moroccan-Israel relationship, which has in recent months been in a negative spiraling mode. So I think that there's great respect and admiration for the King of Morocco in Israel, especially among Moroccan Jews who live in Israel, over 1 million people. And I think that clearly there's a lot of admiration and also a sense of friendship that Israelis feel towards the Kingdom of Morocco and the royal family. And so I think that this step of moving recognizing Sahara will be viewed favorably. However, I think that Israeli public opinion will now wait to see, what Israel gets in return, whether Morocco will host Mr. Netanyahu for a visit, whether Morocco agrees to upgrade diplomatic ties from a level of representation offices to a level of full-fledged embassies, and so on and so forth. So Israelis will expect something in return from Morocco. As to your question about Palestinians, of course, Israelis are aware of Moroccan sensitivities to the Palestinian issue, to the Jerusalem issue, to the holy sites. Of course, it's something that Israelis understand. So I think that once Israel, first of all, we have to see that actually this recognition is implemented formally. Mr. Netanyahu said that Israeli government would be sending diplomatic notes to the UN and to different international organizations and regional organizations, clarifying Israel's new position of recognition of Moroccan sovereignty over Sahara. That would be one thing. Second is Israel's aiming, or at least has said it would consider seriously to open a consulate in the city of Dakhla. And so that's another step that we should be looking at. I do believe, however, that this is maybe I'm not aware of, but I do believe that there are behind the scenes discussions, and that Israel is looking for some quid pro quo, to get something in return, whether it will be a high-level visit by Israel's prime minister to Morocco, or perhaps as I've mentioned, the upgrading of diplomatic ties to the embassy level. And so I do believe that we may be seeing such steps in the future once Israeli recognition comes into effect. This step will advance Moroccan-Israeli relations. I believe that Moroccans who live in Israel, Jewish Moroccans who live in Israel, would be very much interested to see further growth, positive growth of the relationship between Morocco and Israel. Moroccan Jews in Morocco and just all around the world are also very much sympathetic to, very favorable and supportive of Morocco, and I expect that to continue, of course. And there's, as I've mentioned, great admiration and respect for the royal family, for the king, of course. So I think that there are high hopes. There is it's a positive. This is a positive note. This is a positive development. And I think that we look to see, continued growth of the relationship and trying to deal with future obstacles in a diplomatic way without scaling back the relationship, trying to work constructively behind the scenes, trying to resolve the issues in a more diplomatic way rather than confrontational way.